National Electrical Code, specifically the 2020 edition, does not contain a general rule that mandates only one non-metallic sheath cable, often abbreviated as NM cable, be placed under a single staple. The National Electrical Code sets forth a comprehensive set of regulations governing electrical installations for the safety of people and property. These regulations are designed to minimize the risk of fire and electrical shock. The code addresses various aspects of electrical wiring, including conductor types, ampacity, overcurrent protection, grounding, and wiring methods. Wiring methods encompass how electrical conductors are installed and secured. NM cable is a common wiring method used in residential and some commercial buildings. It consists of two or more insulated conductors enclosed within a non-metallic sheath. This type of cable is widely used for branch circuits supplying power to lighting, receptacles, and appliances. The National Electrical Code provides specific requirements for installing NM cable to ensure a safe and reliable operation. These requirements cover factors such as cable support, protection from physical damage, and proper termination. The code emphasizes the importance of securing NM cable to building surfaces to prevent strain on conductors and terminations. Staples are commonly used to secure NM cable to wood framing members such as studs, joists, and rafters. The National Electrical Code permits the use of staples specifically designed for NM cable. These staples are typically made of metal or plastic and are shaped to hold the cable securely without damaging the outer sheath or the insulation of the conductors inside. While the National Electrical Code doesn't explicitly limit the number of NM cables under a single staple, it does emphasize the need for proper support and protection. The code requires that NM cable be supported at intervals not exceeding 4.5 feet and within 12 inches of boxes, cabinets, and fittings. This requirement ensures that the cable is adequately supported to prevent sagging or strain. The code also requires that NM cable be protected from physical damage where exposed. This protection can be achieved by installing the cable in conduit or using guard strips. The intent of these requirements is to prevent damage to the cable from impacts, abrasion, or other hazards. It is crucial to recognize that the National Electrical Code represents a minimum standard for electrical safety. Local jurisdictions, such as cities, counties, or states, have the authority to adopt and enforce the National Electrical Code, and they can also amend it to include more stringent requirements based on local conditions or concerns. It is therefore essential to consult with the local building department or electrical inspector to determine the specific requirements in effect in a particular area. Some local jurisdictions may have adopted a rule that restricts the number of NM cables under a single staple. This rule may be based on concerns about cable damage, overheating, or difficulty in performing future electrical work. For instance, overcrowding cables under a staple could potentially damage the cable sheath or insulation, increasing the risk of electrical shorts or ground faults. Additionally, multiple cables under a staple could make it more difficult to identify and work on individual circuits in the future. When installing NM cable, it is important to use the correct type and size of staples. Staples should be listed for use with NM cable and should be sized appropriately for the cable being installed. Using the wrong type or size of staple can damage the cable and create a safety hazard. Staples should be driven in straight and flush with the building surface without overdriving them. Overdriving staples can damage the cable sheath or insulation. When installing multiple NM cables, it is important to ensure that they are properly spaced and supported. Cables should not be bundled too tightly, as this can restrict airflow and increase the risk of overheating. The National Electrical Code also addresses the issue of ampacity derriting when multiple conductors are installed in close proximity. Ampacity refers to the maximum current that a conductor can carry safely without exceeding its temperature rating. When multiple conductors are bundled together, their ampacity must be derrated to account for the increased heat generated. The National Electrical Code provides tables that specify the ampacity derrating factors for different numbers of conductors in a raceway or cable. These derrating factors must be applied to ensure that the conductors are not overloaded. In addition to the National Electrical Code and local regulations, there may be industry best practices that provide further guidance on NM cable installation. These best practices may address issues such as cable routing, support spacing, and protection from physical damage. Following industry best practices can help ensure a safe and reliable electrical installation. Firstly, always consult the latest edition of the National Electrical Code and any applicable local amendments. The National Electrical Code is updated every 3 years, and it is important to stay current with the latest requirements. Secondly, check with the local building department or electrical inspector to determine the specific requirements in effect in your area. They can provide clarification on any local amendments or interpretations of the National Electrical Code. Thirdly, use the correct type and size of staples for the NM cable being installed. Ensure that the staples are listed for use with NM cable and are sized appropriately. Fourthly, drive staples in straight and flush with the building surface without overdriving them. Overdriving staples can damage the cable sheath or insulation. Fifthly, properly space and support multiple NM cables. Avoid bundling cables too tightly, as this can restrict airflow and increase the risk of overheating. Sixthly, apply opacity deterring factors when multiple conductors are installed in close proximity. The National Electrical Code provides tables that specify the deterring factors for different numbers of conductors. Seventhly, protect NM cable from physical damage where exposed. This can be achieved by installing the cable in conduit or using guard strips. Eighthly, follow industry best practices for NM cable installation. These best practices may address issues such as cable routing, support spacing, and protection from physical damage. Ninthly, when in doubt, consult with a qualified electrician. A qualified electrician can provide expert guidance on NM cable installation and ensure that the work is performed safely and in accordance with all applicable codes and regulations. Tenthly, remember that safety is paramount when working with electricity. Always take precautions to avoid electrical shock and fire hazards. Turn off the power before working on any electrical circuits and use appropriate safety equipment. The National Electrical Code is a comprehensive set of regulations designed to ensure the safety of electrical installations. While it does not explicitly limit the number of NM cables under a single staple, local jurisdictions may have stricter rules. Always check with the local building department or electrical inspector to determine the specific requirements in effect in your area and follow industry best practices for NM cable installation.